cloudy, cold as shit day in Kansai, Japan, and this is a Commonwealth of Opinions. I'm Renako, and today I'm upset because the fucking KFC near my house does not have any of the spicy honey chicken, and as a matter of fact, they never have anything in time. They run out of all the special promotion items, and to be honest, regular KFC here sucks balls. And I just wish they'd get their shit together because the special promotion items and the limited edition items are the only good chicken that they have.
Well, I'm Jonathan, and this week I've been annoyed by that stuff that collects in the teeth of your comb.
What? Hair?
No, it looks like lint. Do you know? Is it just me?
No. I know what you mean. It's like dust that was in your hair that gets collected into the comb.
It's dust, is it?
It's like, well, just
It
dust
looks
and
like
lint
lint.
and whatever.
Like someone grown a cotton plant on my head that I don't know about or something. Like, how do you?
That's your hot
why
take,
is it-
cotton plant.
I don't
You
know.
reach down real deep for cotton plant there.
isn't that where lint comes from? I don't know. Anyway,
The reason is there more of it now?
well, that's a difficult one. It's not something I've been keeping track of very closely over the years.
Anyway,
but-
it's winter and you're wearing more knitteds and scarves, so there's probably more of that shit in your hair now.
Yeah, but I do most of my hair combing in the bathroom when I come out of the shower. I don't take my woolly jumper into the shower with me, so
I don't want this image of you like doing a sexy photo shoot in the shower in a sweater.
Yeah, this took a. I
For
wasn't
anyone,
expecting to go this
for
way.
everyone who doesn't speak British, a jumper is a sweater, by the way.
Yeah, woolly jumper. Uh-huh.
It's,
I think
you don't need to be proud about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's an awesome way to say it. It's kind of weird, to be honest.
I think that makes a lot of sense though.
You know what we call jumpers?
What?
We call
What's
what's this thing? I'm making a gesture.
Shoulders.
No, not fucking shoulders. You pull it over overalls. Overalls. We call overalls jumpers.
Overalls are like full body things that mechanics.
That's
and
a
engineers
coverall.
wear. A coverall? I don't know what a coverall is.
Well, what do you call those then? The ones that have no sleeves and you pull the thing over your shoulders and you latch it. Here. Have you seen clothes before, Jonathan? Have you seen clothes?
I have some awareness of textiles and how they're used. What? You pull it over your shoulders? No, you pull it over your head.
You out so much when you say that robot shit. I'm gonna throw water on you one day and see if sparks come out of your ears, you know.
No, I'm sorry, I've got no idea.
There's another word. It's like pants and a top that's connected, but it's sleeveless.
Dungarees!
Yes.
Dungarees!
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Wow.
Anyway, I grew up calling that a jumper.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would get a jumper from that. Like,
I don't know. I guess you can jump in it. You don't need to worry about your shirt coming out your pants because it's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I take it.
It's a fair point. It's a good point as anyone could possibly make, I'm sure.
Fuck.
It's fine.
Woo!
Anyway.
And that's the way we're getting into it this Friday. So yeah, welcome to a Commonwealth of Opinions. Today, let's get into our first segment. The world's on fire. Jonathan, what's the news?
So, I've got one word for you. Pangolin.
That's that bird. That's
It's
that
not-
bird
no.
that lives on a cliff
No, it's not
and
a
has
bird.
a colored beak.
Oh, that bird.
That is a puffin. Don't bother. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
about.
no, I'm sure puffins are not having a good time of it either, but this is about pangolins, okay?
Why are you
they're-
so sure about puffins' lives? You just calling negative shit on them. Maybe they're having a great fucking time.
I don't know, man. I'll look into this, right? I'll find out about puffins for next time, okay?
Just tell us about the pangolins. I'm sure it's riveting news.
Right, so pangolins. What's a pangolin? It's not a bird. Do you know what it is?
It's not a plane.
It's a mammal. It's not Superman either. It's a mammal,
Uh-huh.
and it's unique. Well, it's kind of unique.
Tell us why, Uncle Jonathan.
I'll tell you.
This is like the worst animal segment because we have no video. You don't even have a fucking pangolin.
Well, it's a mammal, but it's got like scales on it.
Covered in
scales.
Looks like an armadillo. You mean?
I believe they're not scales. I think they're called scutes.
Is it like an armadillo? That's what I'm saying.
Kind of, yeah, because it's a mammal. And
What's the
it's got-
difference between an armadillo and a pangolin?
Well, one's got scales and one's got scutes.
Did you research this shit?
No,
Like
I just know.
This is what keeps you up at night. You're just what do you call it?
All right, I'll come clean. I don't know exactly what the difference is between a scale and a scoot, but I think a scoot is like something that that sort of grows outwards from the skin, like something a crocodile would have. But I think they might have scales as well. I don't know. Look, this is not about me. This is about the pangolins,
All
right?
right, that you know nothing about. How are
And
we
they,
supposed to trust you as
oh,
the expert on pangolins when you can't tell me the difference between a scale and a
look,
fucking scoot, Jonathan?
sometimes
We need the facts.
you just have to have a little bit of faith
I am
in the
shouting.
person that's bringing the news about pangolins to you. All right.
Okay,
And it's
okay.
got scales, and the scales like grow out the skin, and it looks like you would imagine a lizard or something to look like.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
it's that kind. It's your classic scale.
Okay.
You know what you think about what it's that image that you have in your head of scales when you think of scales.
The thing that I measure flour on when
No,
I'm
no.
making cookies, because
I don't cook, so
Justice?
that's not what I think of. All right, the scales.
justice is blind.
No, just there's
Liberals?
no justice in this world. We know that. So we
Oh,
would
with
never
the
think
hot
about that.
punchlines, but
So anyway, to get back on track, pangolins, they're in trouble. I'm gonna, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna throw this open to the floor. Why do you think they're in trouble?
uh, because people don't know the difference between scales and scoots.
Look, if you're not gonna take this seriously, why am I doing this? Why am I even bothering? Right. Anyway, the point is, like most other animals that are critically endangered. Well, no, that's probably not true. I'm gonna backtrack on that just a little bit, right?
Backtrack on the point you didn't finish.
Yeah.
Good, I'm with it.
So anyway, they're being probably hunted to extinction because. Go on. Do you want to hazard a guess?
Because scales are delicious.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Scales are apparently a big thing in certain forms of Eastern medicine.
Mm.
For
Oh, it's
whatever
like one of
reason.
those things you think that makes your dick big? Because that's why they hunt the tigers, right?
No, that's rhino horn.
Rhino
I think.
horn.
Rhino horn.
What does tiger? What does the tiger do?
I don't know.
I think everything. I think like
Everything
that
cures erectile
sect of-
dysfunction as
that
far as,
sect
as
of,
far as I
that
know.
sect of bush medicine.
Yeah.
Everything makes your dick big. Apparently, just kill all the animals for your penis.
Right. But for whatever it is, like obviously it's worthless because scales are just that's like your fingernails.
Yeah,
It's the same
yeah,
stuff as your fingernails. So anyway, but also some places, I think in Malaysia, they seized a big haul, like 10 tons of scales, in Malaysia or somewhere around that area. I researched this pretty well, as you can tell. But the in some other places, they're just a delicacy. Like people like eating little baby pangolin. Just I don't know.
Are they good?
Fry it, bake it, throw it in your soup.
Are they any good?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Well, you did not research this well at
Well,
all. I would think you'd eat a pangolin.
Well, the
and
source
come
that
here.
I read didn't have anything about the taste of the pangolins in it.
I was gonna make a pun about the sauce you read and the sauce on the pangolins, but I didn't have it yet. So I just want you guys to like, can you give me the win on that joke, even though I didn't put in the effort to make it?
Why? I tell you what. If I give you 10 more minutes, can you try again and see if see if it works?
It won't come. It won't
It
come. The
won't
moment's
come.
gone. The
Never
moment's gone.
Never mind. All right then. Well, I'll give you partial credit for that.
Okay, so pangolins are being hunted to extinction. That's what we're
Yeah,
getting at.
for no good reason. And right, here's the thing. So this is my takeaway from this. How stupid are people? Like really? Even if it's the most delicious thing in the world, if you know that this food is coming from an animal that isn't farmed and it's being hunted in the wild, and if people keep hunting it, it's gonna be gone. But you still think, it's really tasty though. I'm just gonna keep eating it. Like, where's the mentality there? Like,
I feel it's just selfishness, though. I think it's beyond stupidity. It's like selfishness to the point where, like, who cares? You know, like at least I'll be able to say I ate one. Like it's
so
that's what
bragging rights.
On some level, I guess.
So you think so? Are you telling me that some people deliberately eat endangered species just so they can tell people that I ate one of the last?
Yes.
Really?
Well, that's a whole thing actually. Like, yeah, being able to hunt shit illegally and get access. The access. That's what it's about. Like, I have all this money. What do I do with it now? I get access to something that other people can't ever have access to and will never be able to. I share this planet with all these people, but I've been able to separate myself from them by this experience I've been able to have. And fuck the future, because I'll still better than them, because they'll never be able to experience this delicious, sweet, sweet pangolin meat.
Have you tried it before? Have you?
No, I haven't, and I'm sure if it was actually good, people would farm it. I'm sure it's probably not that delicious, and people just need to chill the fuck out and let the animal live.
I don't know, man. I just like it's. I don't know. It just seems like this is the planet that you live on. You know what I mean? Like, can people not see how? Do you know what I mean? I wish I can't think of a good analogy.
I get what you're saying, but also you gotta remember people kill their families. And I don't even mean like in situations where like they were being abused or something. Just like people, just whatever mental problems they have or whatever issues they have, they decide that their family is getting in their way of their life in some cases, and they kill their families. People kill their best friends.
Yeah, but that's a little different, that though. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, why would I give a fuck about a pangolin if I killed the person who's breastfed me as a baby?
Yeah, but
if I have that capacity in myself as a human.
But you don't have that capacity. That, like, people who kill their own family members, that's usually someone who's severely mentally disturbed.
But then people kill other people also, and that's another human. I can see myself in that person to some level.
Yeah, but you're not gonna make the entire human race go extinct, are you? I'm not just talking about killing animals. That for me, that's a different discussion. That's about, like, I sympathise with people who are vegetarians or vegans because
not enough to do it.
No. I use the word sympathise very carefully there, but I totally get the fact that you wouldn't want to eat meat. I do eat meat. I like it. I enjoy it. It tastes good. Let's get that out there.
Give me the face.
Like that little bit of meat under the cheek, it's a tasty part. But I understand why someone wouldn't want to do it because it just seems cruel or sad to kill something just so you can eat. You know what I mean? At the same time, I also understand why people say, oh, it's just nature, it's natural to kill and eat. Yeah, sure, whatever. But anyway, that's a totally different discussion. But I'm talking about, like, doing that to the point of making a species disappear from the planet forever. Do you know what I mean? That's a little bit different. That's even different than going to war in seeing thousands of people killed in a war.
And that's what I'm saying. But how does that affect my daily life? If I'm a person who doesn't care, like I'm not saying I think it's shit because I believe that we should share the planet. I think the planet's beautiful. When you kept talking about that scale versus scoot thing. No. Right. And I think I have an image. I think I know what you're talking about, the pangolin thing. I just didn't know the name. But like, this animal is like a beautiful animal. I think when I look at it, it makes me think about the way people, if I'm thinking about the right thing, it's like the way we like design dragons when we imagine them. It's the way we give dragons their scales and that kind of shit. So a lot of our imagination, like, it stems from a place in nature, and the world has given us that. So why wouldn't we want to preserve that? But to a lot of people, that doesn't mean shit. And that's what I'm saying to you. If you can't appreciate the humanity in people who you share species with, why would you care if a species that you're probably never going to interact with?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but that's not really, like, that's the point I'm making, isn't it? Though, how unbelievably ignorant and stupid people are. You know what I mean?
I guess I've been around people for too long, so that, like, it's a shit way to think about things. It's a shit perspective for living and sharing a planet. But it's not at all difficult for me to believe because I've been around people for quite some time now.
All right then. Well, that's a fair point then. So, in a nutshell, we're all doomed.
Yeah. People gonna keep people in. People gonna keep people in, and the world's gonna keep burning.
Fantastic. All right.
Okay. So next segment is WWJD.
All right. Oh yeah, my favorite.
Yep. But ain't no Christianity up in here. That J stands for Jonathan. We're gonna give Jonathan a situation, something that's happening in popular culture, and we get his hot take on it. And what would he do in that situation? So, Jonathan, do you know who Liam Neesons is?
Oh, the Liam Neesons.
Yeah, Liam. But there's no S on it.
No, there's no S on it. But
there's a whole. It's I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a sketch comedy show, and there's two guys, and they talk about his movies, and they refer to him as Liam Neeson.
Oh, really?
That's how you say. Yeah, it's a joke.
What's this show then?
Key and Peele. Basically, they took over what Chappelle used to do.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, they do
Right.
sketch comedy.
I see,
And
okay.
there's a sketch with two valets who are outside, like talking about movies, and they're like describing it kind of wrong, but they're real hype about it, and they refer to him as Liam Neeson.
I see, right.
Constantly.
Right, well done. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Right, yes, I'm aware of him. I think I've got his possible awareness of what you might be about to talk about
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, but I
So,
don't remember it very well.
well, you know him from, you know his movies?
Oh, I yes.
Okay. The one where he fights all them wolves? So, bam, Liam Neeson's,
Is
right?
that
So
the one where he fights these wolves because he's got a very specialist set of skills?
No, that's when they take
that a
it. No,
different
you're
one?
mixing. You're kind of mixing things together there.
Okay.
No, the people take his daughter at some point. I guess they take his whole. I don't know. Taken was always boring for me, to be honest.
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah,
I've seen the first
I'd
one.
rather watch John Wick. John Wick is pointless, but at least the choreography for their like killing and
Yeah,
stuff is really beautiful. It's
a
almost
fun,
like a dance movie.
It's getting to the end of the movie is a fun journey. It's not particularly rewarding when you get there, but
And you can sit down and turn your brain off for quite some
Yeah,
time in a
yeah,
John
yeah.
Wick movie. Anyway, shouts out to Keanu Reeves. Boop boop, keep them soulless eyes running. He has no soul. Anyway, look at his eyes. Anyway, the point is, Liam Neeson, in a recent interview for a movie he was promoting, much to the chagrin of his publicist and everyone who spent money on this movie,
Yeah, it's coming back to me
decided
now.
to reveal that someone he knew was raped at some point, and he was walking up and down the street with, it was like a really British word for a weapon, but I guess it was some kind of club or a blade or something. I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
What's some UK terms for
I think he
for
just said a
weapons?
baseball bat, didn't he?
No,
Didn't
no,
have to
he
say
uses.
baseball
Well,
bat?
what's some terms you use in your hood for weapons? What's
I
some
think you've got the wrong
terminology?
idea about me. I don't make weapons and threaten people with them. A kosh, a cudgel.
That's what he said. That's what he said. A kosh.
was it?
What's
Oh,
a kosh?
I don't know. I think it's just like a blunt weapon. Like
Okay, so anything's a kosh.
yeah, I think so.
Me kosh I did.
Yeah.
That's real.
What
That's
was
real.
that?
That's real Dickens. That's what I call my Charles Dickens accent. Anyone who's running a
Oh,
production.
with my kosh, I did Mary Poppins.
Anyone running a production of Oliver Twist, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me via the podcast communications. I'll be very excited to
I think
play.
we've found our new Dick Van Dyke.
I'd
that's
like
for sure.
I'd like to be the man who goes more when Oliver asks for more, and I'll smash that line. Anyway,
yeah.
So he had his kosh,
Yeah.
and he was walking up and down the streets, hoping that a black person would confront him, so he could fuck him up something good.
Yeah.
And then,
But I believe the perpetrator of his friend's rape was black. Is that
Yes,
is that
allegedly.
why? Right.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
so, but that's what his friend told him, that the
Right,
perpetrator was black.
right.
And yeah, he was like just looking out there looking for
Yeah.
some black bastard.
Yeah.
So he has apologized, and people have found that he said like revenge is not the way or whatever. People are like, oh, fuck Liam Neeson's for life, go die, a racist, whatever. And then on one hand, Terry Crews. I don't know if you know, I don't know if you've seen White Chicks. I don't know if you know who Terry Crews is. He's a really strong, really muscular black actor.
American.
Yeah, American, yeah. I'll show you a picture of him at some point. But he is saying that, people all have a lot of people
Is it like an action
made
star?
mistakes. You're not going to figure it out.
Oh.
A lot of people
Thanks.
made mistakes, and he's apologized, and I've forgiven him. And whatever. And people are in an uproar about this and like, oh, you're wrong, shut the fuck up, die. Well, some people are actually saying that. People are just saying that he's wrong and we shouldn't forgive him or whatever.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Should he be forgiven?
It's a tricky one. Hang on, this is
No,
WWJJ.
sorry.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So, but let me just put this out there. I am not saying that Jonathan's opinion on this is what people should support. I'm just interested in hearing his take on it. Yeah.
Uh, so what's my opinion? Oh God, that's a difficult one. I think I think Mr. Neeson uh, expressed himself very badly, very
Mhm.
poorly.
Mhm.
I believe he was trying to frame it as a sort of a cautionary tale about um, the worst kinds of human behavior, and that he also, fell into that trap when he
Mhm.
was younger, and he was. But I can't remember the context of why he was talking about it in the first place.
His movie. Oh, and here's the not good part also, which is why a lot of people say maybe he should have kept that shit to himself altogether.
Mm.
Which is that he was saying like he reaches into those places
Mm.
for
Oh.
when he has to do these scenes. Like he knows he's experienced those dark feelings before. And
Well,
what
what's
it,
the movie about then? Is he
he's
playing a
probably
bad guy
running
in the
around
movie?
killing. No, he's probably just running around killing people for revenge. Because that was his point.
Mm.
At the end, he learned that revenge is not.
Then yeah, he's a bit of an idiot. I mean, if you see, I think telling that story is not necessarily a bad thing. But if, like, why are you going to tell it? If you're going to tell it as a cautionary tale about being a stupid racist when there's no call for it,
Oh, preach on it, Jonathan. Preach on it.
then then okay, as long as that's as the context is there for it. But if it's about revenge, then why are you including the bit about him being black in it? You know what I mean? I don't understand. You know what I mean? You should
Mm.
like make a point based on what point you're trying to make. Do you know what I mean? Don't
Mm-hmm.
just throw everything into the mix. You know what I mean?
But also don't be a racist though. And if that's what he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
doing, then at least it's fair that he told the whole truth and didn't try to color it in a different way. But yeah, that's kind of what everyone is saying, that he doesn't deserve forgiveness because he's not even apologizing for. He didn't even
Mm,
apologize for. He said one, he said he's not a racist, and two, he said he did not apologize. The people are saying he did not apologize for. Ooh, maybe I'm too far away from the mic. I hope.
could be.
Yeah, possibly. I just realized how low my levels are. He didn't really apologize for the racist perspective of it, and
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like that, he should have just if in telling that story, if it was just about revenge, he should have left that detail out of it. And then if he wanted to make some separate point about racism, then include that detail in it. But don't fucking mix them all up and then not realize how it's going to cause a problem. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think he could tell that story and it could still have value
Okay.
if he's going to acknowledge the racial aspect of it.
Okay. And I guess that's what Jonathan would do in that
Yeah,
situation. But
yeah.
also Jonathan would not be a fucking racist to start with, which
Well,
is
I wouldn't be walking around the streets with a Cosh looking for a fight with a black man because I'd probably get mashed into a pub. That's the
but also
by a man of any ethnic background.
but also but also
I'm quite slight.
just leave black people alone. I don't know. Like I am conflicted about it. In one of Chappelle's specials, he talked about like, and I don't know how historically accurate this anecdote was. So I'm not saying that it was correct or what, but the idea of it, I do agree with on some level. Where he said when apartheid was done, one of the things they had to do was to fight against the system. People who participated in it had to feel no fear of being punished to come forward and say the things that they did and how they participated in the system. But on one hand, I agree with that. Also, but people still should on some people should be punished if they did do something, if they did carry out some kind of crime. But for things like this, where it didn't manifest, we do need to have dialogue about it, and we do need to have people saying the reasons why. So that's the problem. I agree with you 100%. We do need to have people coming up and saying that was a racist thing to think. It was fucked up. I could have possibly fucked up somebody's life or ended
Yeah.
someone's life off of racism. And it should not be like that. And to be able to hear someone like Liam Neeson say something like that would have been help and might have reached
Yeah.
someone who might have that kind of thought process.
Yeah, he should have either just left that detail out or put it in, but then that's kind of going to obscure the point he was going to make, which is just this is how I act in a revenge movie. You know what I mean? But I did see a comment about that. Like this is a conversation we should be having, and that's
It,
kind of a good point. Yeah, I agree. Like Liam Neeson probably even back then wasn't what you would call an ideological racist, but he should have made some acknowledgement. He definitely fucked up there because he should have made some acknowledgement that that's such a fucked up thing to say. Like even if the alleged perpetrator was black, and why does that justify going out and starting a fight with a random black person? You know what I mean? And he didn't make any attempt to cover that at all. So I think he fucked up there.
Yeah, I'm worried about these reactions to these things. When I say worried, on some level, because I don't need to live in America, but on a larger level, like my whole perspective for this whole thing is, one, you can't always tell people who are oppressed or hurt how to react. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why in most cases I keep my opinion. Like I will never insert myself to say, well, actually, but that doesn't change what the fact is. And the fact is, the hit and hit back thing, it will
Mm-hmm.
never solve any of the
Right,
problems.
right.
And the idea that fuck all of them and they will always be that way and we don't want to
Mm.
educate them anymore because
Mm-hmm.
we've spent all this time trying to educate them and everybody who
Mm-hmm.
wants to know would know by now.
Yeah.
And all of these arguments are valid, but they're not going to solve the problem. You understand?
Yeah.
So, on some level, the conversations still need to be had.
Uh-huh.
Like, it would be a lot more functional if black people could reach out to Liam Neeson and
Mm-hmm.
say to him,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is what the issue with that
Mm-hmm.
was, and possibly get him to a place where he could understand where he needs that was a racist thing and he wasn't a racist
Yeah.
mindset, and whatever put that in his mind, could he identify the things that he experienced or the things that triggered or the experiences that led him to
Mm-hmm.
that place, and show how it's not the reality of black people are just humans like
Mm-hmm.
everyone
Mm-hmm.
else. They're not just these violent people. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just put the act of one person, if one person did it, on the entire race.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot to ask from people who've experienced and know people and experienced a situation where people have died from this.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, on one hand, the greater idea is if people would just stop being fucking racist, that would be
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. On the other hand, it would also be fantastic if people who have been oppressed could, in this situation where they have some more voice now via social media,
Mm-hmm.
have more tempered responses and still be interested in teaching. But once again, as I said, it's a big ask. It's a big ask,
Yeah.
and I would never request. That's my position on it. I would never request it. But what I didn't like was people kind of immediately shooting down Terry Crews.
Mm-hmm.
As his conversation kind of continued, I think a lot of his points were a little bit weak, Terry Crews. But the whole thing is, I feel that if his initial position was he forgives him, no one should try to fight anyone out of that. If you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have, and it's not like we're in a situation where everyone is forgiving, so the shit's going to continue.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people standing up against it, and in any revolution, everybody can't take the same position. We need negotiators.
Mm-hmm.
We need peacemakers. We need people who just want to burn the whole shit down.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has their function in a revolution in that way, I believe. So it's really one-sided right now in terms of the way people want to approach dealing with it. So it's a tough situation to watch, but maybe people shouldn't have just left the fucking country and go abduct slaves and cause all these problems. So it is what it is when it burns the fuck down. And get myself some marshmallows and be like, I wish this didn't work out this way.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure how to follow that, but fine.
But what Jonathan would have done though
Uh-huh.
is not ignore the racism portion of it and acknowledge that
Yes.
was fuck shit.
Or left it out, knowing that it was irrelevant to the very sort of pointless point I was trying to make anyway.
Or more importantly, he would have gone back and not been a fucking racist to start with.
Yeah. But I will say this, yeah, I agree with what you're saying about like the internet and comments and shit like that. But there's a fundamental, and I also think like it's a little more complicated with race issues, but I think someone's right to forgive or not forgive is their right. You know what I mean? Like when you see people who after a war and they've decided to forgive the soldiers who raped and killed their family, and you're like, fucking hell, I wouldn't do that. But that's their decision, you know what I mean? It's they're the only ones who have the right to make that decision, I think. You can't force someone to take a position on that, you know what I mean? It's theirs to do. And also, the internet and comments and forgiveness and not forgiveness. People of all backgrounds, it's a human thing. People like black and white. They don't
More
like...
white than black. Got him. Anyway, sorry, go on.
They don't like nuance.
Mm.
They don't like to be told that the truth lies somewhere in between.
Mm.
Because their brains just can't handle it.
Mm.
So, good luck with that.
Okay, and yeah, that was what Jonathan would do. So let's wrap this up. As usual, we're gonna wrap it up with some good news. I'm gonna try to think about some good news because someone got hit by a car in front of my apartment this week, so I don't know if I'm in a pleasant place. But yeah, we can't leave. We don't end on these dark notes. You know, we gotta end with some positivity. Jonathan.
Oh shit.
Hit me.
Oh, I saw a great film last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, First Man, great. It's really good.
How many stars do you give it out of 76?
I'll give it 76 stars. Well, 75.
Out of
to be
76?
fair. Out
Where
of
did it lose
76.
that last star?
Nothing's perfect.
Okay, fair enough. Way to be positive on this positive note that nothing could ever be perfect.
But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
There's
okay.
beauty in imperfection.
Let's get deep on it. Ugly girls need. Anyway. Ugly people need sex too. See how I save that? See how I pull that?
Runako doesn't necessarily. His comments don't reflect my position on these things, by the way.
So what you're saying is ugly people don't deserve sex too, Jonathan?
We're looking for something happy to close the show out with.
My happy thing, my happy thing. Oh, okay. So it was the anniversary of this album that was really important to me yesterday.
Is this a
So
Kanye
far
album?
gone. No. It usually is. But no, it's the Drake album. Surprisingly, because Drake kind of annoys the shit out of me. But
I've heard the
so
name.
far gone, it was
but-
like a mixtape. You don't know who Drake is?
No, I've heard the name.
Goodness. Goodness, old man Jonah. Goodness, could you live in this year?
Look, no.
This decade.
No, I refuse to
Anyway,
do
so it kind of reminded me like where I was in life at that point in time. It was like a real shit party in
Okay.
in my life at that point in time 10 years ago, and it just kind of like reminded me like I got over that.
Mhm. And it's all come up roses now.
It's not. So I quite recently had a real shit time as well, and it was nice to have a reminder that I think last year was the closest year I can measure in terms of like toughness in life. Closest measure to that year.
Right,
before.
okay.
And you know, just a reminder of my own ability, I guess, was nice. It was nice to have that little reminder.
I see, right.
Yeah.
I see
So
where
you
you're
know,
coming from with that.
everything's I feel like things will looking up.
That's very good.
Looking up.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that.
All right, and let's wind it down there. This has been a Commonwealth of Opinion. You guys enjoy your weekends, and Jonathan, any advice for the people out there?
Stay warm and
What do they live in the Caribbean?
stay cool and go and see First Man. It's great.
There's Jonathan giving out free promos that we're not getting no money from. We'll talk to you guys next time.